Today, I have a very special treat for you. We are going to be looking at 6 pastas that are on the market with better macros. These all have higher protein and more fiber than traditional pasta. The other caveat is that none of these pastas involve beans. You may have had red lentil pasta before, black bean pasta, lupa pasta before. I just don't enjoy the taste of them. They don't taste like pasta. My name's Jacob Ziemer, and I've helped thousands of people get in the best shape of their life. Real people with real careers who have families. Not people who are 20 years old, who have hours to spend in the gym and are going to carry Tupperware with them everywhere they go. I myself, since Memorial Day, have lost 32 pounds following my method, flexible dieting. Flexible dieting is about eating single ingredient foods 80% of the time. Things like blackberries, broccoli, chicken, salmon, and the other 20% of the time, it's foods that you enjoy or they're gonna help you hit your macros. And today, we're looking at a food that covers both of those bases because who doesn't love pasta? And these pastas are gonna help you hit your protein goal, help you hit your fiber goal while keeping your calories down. For my clients, I always suggest that they get at least 0.8 times their body weight in grams of protein a day. And I also suggest that they get 10 grams of fiber per 500 calories they eat. So if you're on a 1,500 calorie a day diet, you want to be getting at least 30 grams of fiber a day. If you are on a 2,000 calorie a day diet, you'd be wanting to get 40 grams of fiber a day. So the pastas that we're going to be looking at and covering today are Goodles, Carbe Diem, Pastabilities, Carefree Kitchen, Barilla, and Pizza. I've got 3 of them cooking in front of me right now. Right now I have Goodles, which I'm very familiar with. I've talked time and time again on my channel about it. Currently it's my favorite, though I have not tried all these pastas. So we're gonna go through each of these while they're cooking, and then I'm gonna pull them out and we're gonna taste test them. That's really what this is about. Is it actually taste good? And is it actually going to keep our calories down and help us hit that protein fiber goal? So starting with Goodles, we've got 180 calories per serving with 10 grams of protein. I have what's called the protein test. You would take the grams of protein, in this case 10, add a 0 to it. Does it have that many calories or less? This has more than 100 calories, therefore it doesn't pass our protein test. However, it also has 7 grams of fiber. So what I would do if I was making Goodles for dinner is I would have something like shrimp along with it. In fact, oftentimes I make Goodles along with shrimp, and I use a little bit of olive oil and some lemon zest and garlic to cook it up, and it tastes absolutely phenomenal. Jacks up the protein while having that high fiber content and actually tastes like pasta. The other pasta that we're looking at is Carbe Diem. I'm a sucker for good packaging. I love the name of it. It's fun. Carbe Diem. It's hilarious. This is 110 calories, 8 grams of protein. It's actually closer in hitting its protein test than does the Goodles, and it has 24 grams of fiber. And again, this is accomplishing that with modified wheat starch. It does not use beans. This is a really a lot of fiber in this pasta. And for that reason also too, it takes a really long time to cook. These other 2 pastas that we're looking at right now, about 10 minutes. This bad boy requires 15 minutes to cook. And the last pasta that we're looking at first, of the first 3 that we're gonna look at, is Pastabilities, 100 calories, 8 grams of protein, even closer again to hitting our protein test, 27 grams of fiber. So you can see very quickly why I'm so interested in these products, because the more fiber you have, the better your gut microbiome is gonna be, the lower your risk of diabetes, heart disease, and also the more sustainable your diet's going to be, because high fiber foods are very satiating. So we're gonna let these 3 pastas cook up. I'm gonna plate each of them, and we're gonna taste test them and see, do they actually pass the taste test along with the protein and fiber test? First pasta we're looking at is Goodles. It has a little bit of a yellow hue. It can get a little mushy if you leave it in too long, but overwhelmingly, I've always enjoyed this. First, we're gonna try it without the marinara sauce. The texture is a little softer. Again, you have to watch how long you leave it in the wire for, but the texture is definitely softer than typical penne. The taste without the sauce is probably about 80% there. Let's put some marinara on this bad boy. Now I'm excited. Yeah, that's so good. When you add the sauce, this tastes so close to the real thing. We're talking like 90% of the way there. Goodles for me, when it comes to the taste department, it's a home run. Next pasta that we're going to be looking at here is Pastabilities. And this was looked at secondly because it's simply cooked faster than Carbe Diem. You can see here it has a very whitish hue as in comparison to the Goodles. Texture, it's much firmer. Tasting it, the texture is very much like pasta. The taste is probably closer to like 70% there. Now I'm gonna add the marinara. I'm not shocked because the macros are just so stunning on this thing. If I didn't know Goodles existed, this would be a possibility for me. It does have better macros than Goodles, but it's kind of like when you're chewing, it tastes like pasta, but the taste isn't that of pasta. It's not quite there. So this is a no for me. Now we're going to plates. Carbe Diem, best name of any of these pastas. Looks very much like real pasta when it comes to the hue of it. The texture, very similar to real pasta. And remember, this took additional time to cook because it's so laden with fiber. We're gonna taste test it without the marinara. Firmer texture than traditional pasta. It tastes more like pasta than Pastabilities and less like pasta than Goodles does. Got our marinara on here. I'm such a pasta fanatic. Okay, with the marinara, which I think matters more than without, this tastes better than Pastabilities. So far my listing is Goodles, Carbe Diem, then Pastabilities in order of taste.
My name's Jacob Zemer, and I've helped thousands of people get in the best shape of their life. There are plenty of apps out there that focus on your training or your nutrition or even your health. However, very few apps address all three aspects. And in order to get in the best shape, you must address all of them. For that reason, my app has an educational program that will teach you about preventative health, blood work, cardiovascular activity, along with providing custom training for as many days as you can commit to and the exact gym equipment you have available. Also, you will have a tailored nutrition plan based on your unique physiology. I wanted something that everyone could afford. All of this is available for $1 a day on my website. Right now, if you click the link in bio under app, there's a 7-day free trial. I'm looking forward to helping you change your life.
We've got room to throw 2 more pastas in right now. We've reviewed 3 so far. We're gonna go pizza pasta. This is 110 calories, 17 grams of protein. Remember our protein test. We take this grams of protein, in this case 17, we add a 0 to it. Does it have that many calories or less? This in fact does. This is the first pasta that we've reviewed that passes our protein test. And it also has 27 grams of sugar. So from a macro standpoint, this is the winner so far. Next one I want to look at, we got to look at Barilla. I mean, this has been on the market forever. Barilla Plus, we've got penne again. Trying to review all these penne to penne as long as they have that existing pasta as an option. We got 190 calories, 10 grams of protein, nowhere near a protein test. In fact, the Barilla Protein Plus has the least amount of protein to calorie ratio that we've seen so far. It has 5 grams of fiber. So this is actually the best macros being pizza pasta being compared to the worst macros being Barilla Plus. One thing I do want to mention that even though this is a wheat-based pasta, it does have lentil flour and chickpea flour. I included it still because it is a wheat-based pasta, but they are using flour from legumes. Okay, next up we have Barilla. It cooked before heat because obviously way less fiber. I do want to make one alteration in my review. I said that Barilla looked the most like normal pasta. I think it's actually Goodles, and this is a little bit more of a yellowish hue. Okay, plate that as is. We're gonna try it without the sauce. You know what? It's kind of correlation here with where some macros better taste. Sad to say. Does this taste better than Goodles? Yeah, this might be better than Goodles. Let's try it with the marinara. I'm gonna go Goodles number 1. I'm gonna go Barilla number 2 in taste. Then we're gonna have Carbe Diem. Then we're gonna have Pastabilities so far. In terms of the pasta that I would absolutely buy first and foremost, and actually have on a repeat would be Goodles by a mile, just because I think it's the perfect blend of macros and taste. But then it might be Carbe Diem would be like my second if I was simply just looking at it from a nutrition perspective. Remember, pizza pasta is the only pasta so far that's passed our protein test. We're gonna try pizza. Better than I thought it would be, but it's still the worst pasta I've tasted so far. Get some marinara on there. I don't think it's horrific. What I would say is like, there are these certain types of pastas, like these noodle pastas that are basically no calorie. This tastes the most similar to those types of pastas. It just doesn't have a lot of taste. It's not horrible, but it doesn't have taste. So it's kind of like more the lack thereof of taste. I'm gonna throw my Carefree pasta in here, Carefree Kitchen. This one I had to buy Rotini. They didn't have the penne. We got 120 calories, 20 grams of protein. This is our second pasta now that actually passes our protein test. And this bad boy has 26 grams of fiber. We're 13 minutes into the 15 minutes this takes to cook. So let's try Carefree Kitchen. That's not a good sign. That tastes like rubber, man. This is trash, man. That's the worst tasting pasta I might have ever had. And I've had a lot of macro-friendly pasta. That is terrible. I'm gonna go with what I said. They should be embarrassed that they are even selling that product. I'd go Goodles, I'd go Barilla, I'd go Carbe Diem in pastas that I'd actually buy. I think that's the actual order. Thanks for tuning in to listen to me talk about 6 macro-friendly pastas. Each and every single week on this channel, I release at least one long format video, short format videos on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok each and every single day, stories on TikTok and Instagram. I've helped thousands of people get in the best shape of their life. I've been a trainer in the Westchester area for years, and now I'm primarily a coach online. I help hundreds of people each year lose weight, and thousands of people over the 8 years I've been doing this get in incredible shape. If you want to learn more, go to jacobzimmer.com. If you enjoyed what you saw today, please hit like, please comment, please hit subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. We put out content like food reviews, grocery shopping, working out, and going and seeing your doctor, getting lab work done, preventative health. My name is Jacob Zimmer, and I help people get in the best shape of their life.